Oh,
Hello and welcome back to Cage Chronicles, part 3. Had to get in there.
yeah. When you say about like, because I was
Straight
saying,
back into it.
Yeah, straight back into it. So I was saying, yeah, I still felt nervous. Like, not very nervous. Like I know I can bash all the guys in the gym, whatever, but it's easy. But I just like still feel a bit nervous, like stepping out there, because I'm like anything can happen, can get caught. And then I just feel like extra pressure of being the coach or being the higher belt in that comp and stuff. So you're just you have this expectation that you're gonna like just whoop everyone. And so I get nervous just even there. I mean I say that to the guys as well when they're like nervous to compete. Like I got
but why would you get nervous? Your team won. Oh no,
my team didn't win. I had to carry my team. My back is still sore from trying to carry my team to the win.
You dropped them at the last bit, though, didn't you?
No, I got 4 submissions and 1 draw. That's what I got. That's not bad. Riley just like tactically played a good game, put me in close guard, and then I realized 2.5 minutes in that he was just going to try and hold me there for 5 minutes and
outworked by a blue belt.
No, but I just hey. I'm always going for the win. Like, if he wants to just stall out like a pussy, then that's fine by me, okay? Right? Do what you want to do. Yeah. But that's one thing I think about for myself as well, for like my competitions. It's like, say we were out there the other day, like obviously, like you said, I've been in the corner for Olden when he won. So that's sweet. Like you're like, yay, look, like it's awesome. Everyone's happy, all good. And then now I've been in the corner for someone to lose, which is like, obviously, it's really like emotionally, like it hurts. And I could see that you were like it really hurt like emotionally, and so you really feel it. But also, at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't make like any like you want her to win, but it doesn't change your my perception of her at all. No. Like you don't think, oh, Connie lost. Whatever, but it doesn't change at all. Like if anything, you just like you admire him even more for like stepping out there. So it's like that. Like I think people don't want to compete because they don't want to lose, but it's just like it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't move.
And I try and say that to the guys who are competing. But again, I wouldn't listen either. Like when I was competing and stuff. But like I'll say again, if you go in there, you give your all. That's all I can ask. And literally, I'm proud of everyone who competes doing that. But they all come back and they go, oh man, sorry, I don't want to let you down and all this stuff. So you haven't let me down. There's going to be different. There's 2 people going to fight, and one might just be able to get it over you on that one day, or something happens and you slip up, or just they're just better than you at that time, whatever it's going to be. And you went in there the best prepared you could be. But now you can work on this or do this or like to get better next time. But never disappoints me. If they go in and don't perform or work like they want to work, just because of other stuff, then they'll feel it themselves. You know what I mean?
I think like that's because you have that like discernment. Obviously that's why it's like such a, like both of you were saying, you're not gonna like view anyone differently like if they lose, and sometimes people get in their heads about that. But I think like a very kick the table, a very good like development kind of stage for a fighter, I think, is like understanding or getting that discernment about like what it means to kind of like actually compete, and all the pressures that you feel, like being nervous about whether it's a quintet in the gym, whether it's a battlegrounds, whether it's like a fight where I'm going to get elbowed in the face or anything like that. Like understanding that what other people think of you, like, or your opinion of that, like how much value you're giving to that is all in your own head.
Yeah.
Like your own expectations on yourself is all in your own head. And like if you're expecting to win all the time and then you lose, like obviously with that expectation you'd be upset, like, you know what I mean? But if you're expecting, like you were saying, Steve, to like give your all and do your best, and you understand that you can win or you can lose, and like that's just the way it is, it's the game that we're in. I think that like that's like the best kind of position you can be in to actually compete. Like if you think about like even just in the gym, when do you have like the best like roles in the gym or the best spars in the gym, like mentally? Like how would you be that day mentally when you're like going in and you're performing really well in the gym.
You just got no pressure on yourself. You just like chilling, and you just feel decent. You feel good, you know. And sometimes I've been in where I didn't even want to train that day, and I've gone, I'll go in and do it. And I had some sick rolls, or some sick sparring or whatever. And other times I feel like really good, and then I've gone in, and then I haven't been doing good, and I put pressure on myself. And I'm going, wow, why did I get teed up today? Like I didn't do as good as I thought it was going to be. But I think as long as everyone goes in, because you get all the pressure, like we said before, is what you've put on yourself. No one else is putting this pressure on you. You think, oh, what if I let the coach down? What if I let my family down? What if I let this down? What if this happens? But this is all in your own mind. No one's ever said this to you. A majority of times, I don't think someone's going to say, oh man, if you lose, you get out the house. I don't think it's going to happen that way. So it's all pressure you put on yourself. But you get guys who don't even ever get in the ring, and they really want to, but they're so in, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I need to be fitter. I need to be this, need to be that. So they don't even get over that first barrier. Then you get other ones who get in the ring, and they've beaten themselves before they even fought. And they're fighting themselves mentally before they get in there. And it's like, it's such a big thing, the mental training, to be able to go in there and just perform at the best you possibly can. And you're always going to come away with, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have done that. Yeah, cool. But at the time, at that moment in time, that's the best you could do, or that's 100%. The way you thought about it. Now, in retrospect, now you're going, I could do this, I could do that. But at the time, that's the best you possibly could do, even if you think you could have done this and that. And
that's the whole point. That's what you want to do. Like, you want to challenge yourself. You want to put yourself in that position, because it's in those like uncomfortable kind of unknowns that you really figure out a lot about yourself. Like, 100%. I think like for me, like when I started competing and fighting, that's when I found out a lot about myself. And I was like, oh man, like, do you know what I mean? I actually do get scared about things, like, and I'm going around as if like I'd have a big ego, like, oh man, like take on anyone, realizing no, I'm actually like scared about losing in fights and things like that. How do I actually deal with that? Or like, I'm really nervous to like fight in front of friends and family. All of these things on a big stage. The first time I fought in HBF Stadium, a lot of that got to my head, like walking out to the cage and there's cameras and lights and everything. Like, it can really get to you. But just like not actually. Like, you have to have that, kind of discernment to not put those stupid pressures on yourself, because it doesn't really make a difference.
You got to always know that you're going to have that bit of pressure on yourself, because you want to win so bad and you want to perform so well. So you're always going to have them pressures on yourself. But it's just somehow, how can you train your brain a little bit not to have that much pressure on? And then, again, you talk to people and you learn now more. I mean, like, obviously, when we talked last podcast, when you first came over, like, you had the mindset, and you trained a bit more, and you had a few fights, you had a different mindset, and it's changing all the time. And in like 3 years or 4 years, it's going to be different again. You know what I mean? You're always evolving. I'm always evolving. James is always evolving. So we're always going to like, and that's how you want to be. And not, you know what I mean? Well, James, maybe not James. I don't know, but like,
it's like a perspective thing as well.
No, but like, think about like a year ago. Of you of your coaching compared to your now coaching now. How has that evolved? Let's hope it's evolved a bit. But I would say it has evolved a lot. You know what I mean? So like, and you might be doing things that you think, that was right at the time, but now it's like, it's completely different.
Perspectives change.
Perspectives change.
I read this cool thing the other day about it's just like a little story. It's just like basically.
What's this guy joking? Why are
you all right?
I'm laughing at Robin.
What's Robin doing?
She's laughing at me.
What?
You guys were like talking about evolving.
I was slowly like.
So next podcast, can we get some Red Bull for this fucking guy?
Take a drink.
I was just slowly like.
Can you get a little screenshot just to?
I was listening. I was just thinking about stuff, and then. Well, I'll tell you what I was thinking about. So, I was thinking about because like you were saying.
If you say anything about that question, start.
What? The question. I was thinking about so like if Kev fights, we all know he's going to win his boxing fight, but in an alternate. No, I'm being positive. I'm putting positive affirmations right here. Okay?
Don't put pressure on me though, because that's the thing. We just chat about that. Like, I might not win, and I'm okay with that.
If Kev,
I'd say there's a 50-50.
I think it's 50-50.
No, we're putting it into the universe that Kev's going to win. But if he lost and then he like comes back to the gym on Saturday, I'm not going to be like,
You better not be, bro.
Get out of here, mate. Like, you suck. Like,
Wait. The locks are getting changed.
But it's like,
Don't come back.
it's like no one, and like anyone that you teach or whatever, they're like, because the thing I thought, so I had a 7-year break between competing, and then I was like already like well into coaching, and then I thought about going back to competing, and I was like, what if I lose? What if this? What if that? All those things. And then I thought I can easily just keep coaching and be a coach without competing. Don't have to do it. No one's making you do it. You don't have to do it. No one's even going to like second guess you, ask you any questions. Everyone's going to just keep training under you. You're going to keep teaching people. Like, as long as you're a good coach and you know jiu-jitsu, obviously, and you're always learning. And then I just went, so it doesn't matter, like, it shouldn't matter either way then. Like, so then if I do compete and lose, well, that's better than not competing. Like, you're going to gain some extra experience, some more knowledge out of that. So if no one cares if I don't compete, well, then I may as well just go out there. Just got to try and like wipe that from your head that everyone's going to think you're crap and then not want to like learn under you now, like, which because it's not true at all.
Because it kind of comes down to like what you're saying there is like what value do you hold to like the things that you want to do or like yourself, like your self-worth. Because back to the little story I was gonna say, it was pretty much about like this father gave his son like
You messed up his story.
No, it actually goes hand in hand. Like, so his father gives his son like a really old watch.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, like, I want you to go sell that, see how much you can get for it. Son takes it to a pawn shop and they're like, I'll give you $10 for it. Right? And he comes back to his dad. He's like, nah, like, they literally offered me like $10. He's like, nah, like, take it down to like the cash for gold place. Takes it down there, like, nah, it's like really old, it's like rugged, it's really bad. Like, nah, I'll give you $5 for it. Comes back to his dad and he's like, nah, like, they said it's a bunch of crap. Like, nobody wants it. It's like, take it down to the museum. He takes it down to the museum. Museum's like, oh, I'll pay you $500,000 for it. This is like an antique piece, right? And all this kind of stuff. Moral of the story.
Is I'm worth 500,000.
You're worth 500,000.
I'm fully lost. This is going on.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is like based off of like it's the same item, right? But like based off of
Different perspective,
what it's worth. So the thing is like if I'm taking myself for example as like a fighter, as a person, like my self-worth, my identity, all those things, and I want to compete. Like, it actually, as kind of like cutthroat as it sounds, like, I actually really couldn't care, like, what other people have to say or think about me. And, like, because I know one person will, like, absolutely, like, just, like, give me so much praise. Another person will just run me down to the ground about how bad I am or all these things. But if my self-worth, like, is kind of, like, concrete and in stone, so personally, that would be, like, what God has to say about me. Like, I can go and I can do any of these things. Like, I can fight and I can, like, do it without having those pressures because, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference. Like, do you know what I mean? Kind of having that understanding of, like, what you're actually trying to do. When you had your battleground fight, like, you went and did that. And, like, on the back end of it, like, are you glad that you did that?
Oh, yeah, definitely glad.
And then you got, like...
I mean, obviously, like you were saying before, you come away from there knowing, like, if you fell short, you should have done more, like, could have gone better.
We're going to have to cut it off again. We've got a little technical issue, so we're going to have to switch the battery. This is how professional we are, but we'll come straight back into it. And we're back. Now we're, sorry about that, we had a bit of a technical issue with the camera, so we're just back into it. So continue, James.
So
I've completely forgot what I was up to. But
so we were chatting about, like, your... Yeah, no, you had your thing on Battlegrounds, but and like obviously all the pressures before that, I was like, oh man, I'm a coach, like this and that, like what if I like lose? I've been out of the game for what'd you say, 7 years without competing, but then you kind of reassured yourself with like, nah, at the end of the day, you are gonna get experience no matter what happens. It is gonna make you a better coach no matter what happens and all of these things, and then like on the back end, have those things actually taking place.
Oh, that's right. I remember what I was saying now. I was saying, oh, you always, like you were saying, you always come out going, should have done this, wish I'd done that, could have done better.
Yeah.
Like sometimes even if you win, you know, you're like, oh, could have done this, should have done this. Like you always have those thoughts to deal with. But it's like, yeah, you shouldn't feel like any less because you lost or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so yeah, you're going to be going, you're going to be like spewing that you lost, or like, you know, you said people like they apologize to you, like, sorry I let you down. Like, you're going to have those thoughts, which is fine, but just know that if anything, it only elevates you. Like even though
you're more much
losses, it only elevates.
You're more like experienced than the people that haven't done that. Like you're more matured. Like you have like a different element of understanding in terms of like the emotions, the actual experience, what that is like compared to people that haven't done that. So even from a point of view, like people that haven't competed, like even if people have like having opinions on it, it's like they haven't been like in your shoes or actually done that thing. No. So having like value. Why are you smiling at me?
I know that you want.
I was gonna say a quote.
I know the quote you want to say.
What quote do I want to say?
The man in the arena.
That was in my head, but I was actually trying to think of a different way to say it. I was gonna say like water off a duck's back. You definitely know that one, hey? Yeah. So like for me to be affected by like your opinion after first value your opinion, and like depending on the topic, like when it comes to like fighting and things like that, like the amount of people that say just stand up, like when they're watching fights and things like that, it's just like come on, like
man, that is one thing. Sitting in the crowd at Eternal,
some of the
stuff that people say, I'm just like, I just want to go and grab that guy and just like choke him, like.
Did I tell you?
Do something, this, that. I'm like, no.
Why didn't you knock him out?
I can't remember what happened. I think there was something that happened at Eternal before. It was just really funny. It just popped in my head where like there was a girl sitting next to me, and like the guy behind either like spilled a drink or shouted, or did something, or just like gave out and all that, and then like I was just like just commented on the fight like really really badly, and then I just like happened to turn around. Like, cause I like gone up to like the seat was empty like before I was sitting there, and like he realized that I was fighting, and then he like cause I fought on the same card. This was like years ago.
Oh, this is in Ireland.
No, this is over here.
Oh, okay, sorry,
it's over here.
Yeah.
And apparently, I didn't even realize this because I only got told after the event. But the entire event, he was like mouthing off and had every single opinion to say. And then like after that, like one moment where I was like shouting something, and I like turned around, and I was just like, what? Like I was so, I was like, just, do you know the frustration of like, did you actually just say that you have no idea about fighting? And then you like looked down and realized that I fought on the card, and then like was silent for the rest of the show. And it was only afterwards people were saying like, man, like he was like mouthing off the entire time up until like that moment.
My first fight, right? My first fight was in this like it's a working men's club. It was one of the only MMA fights we had in this area. Yeah, and me and my brother were fighting on the same card, so. It was England versus Holland. Yeah. Holland was big on MMA and stuff like that. And we went in for a fight. My brother went in, had this epic fight with this lad. It was a really cool fight. He pulled up short just slightly, and he lost the fight, but it was a really cool fight. And then it gets to my fight, and he goes, and my coach Paul is like, man, you got to fire up this crowd. We've had a few losses, we've had a few wins, but we need to get it going and stuff. So I was like, well, sweet. So I got the British flag, and I was like, yeah, and I was coming out here. And it was my first one ever, like as an MMA, and I got like super aggressive. Like I've done it. I've ever been that aggressive. I'm pretty chill, you know what I mean? I'm pretty chill, and I can like control it when I'm doing it. But I was like to the point where I was swearing him because he was trying to do like all these things to me in the ring. Like he tried to bite me once, he headbutted me twice, he tried to eye gouge me, and then the guy who was the referee was a Thai boxing coach. He's very well known. Thai boxing. He was a world champion Thai boxer, but he didn't know nothing about MMA. So everyone's shouting out stuff to the ring and that. But it's just getting to the point what you're saying there. And basically, I went in there. I kept taking him down. I fractured my nose, but I ended up winning the fight. Yeah. I did ground and pound, and I got like a submission, and I won the fight. And then there's this guy who was like kicking off in the audience. Like, he was an absolute tool all night. Apparently, I didn't know nothing of this. I was out the back. Yeah. So then. First thing, I went back out after I went backstage. I went back out to get a drink and stuff like that with it, meet everyone, and everyone was already congratulating my brother on fighting twice in one night. And I was like, nah, that was me. Yeah. Anyway, but that's behind the point. But this guy has been a total dick. Yeah. My wife now. Yeah. Had gone out and she was like, gonna get a taxi. We're gonna go into the town for some drinks with everyone. Yeah. So then she went to go and call a taxi, I believe. And this guy started to hit on her. Yeah. I literally just popped my head out. Yeah. And I was like, oh, did you get a taxi? He seen my face and he ran out. I've never seen someone run so fast in life. And I was like totally oblivious. I was like, what the hell? She's laughing her back off. She goes, he was trying to hit on me and he's seeing you and he just legged it.
100%.
It was like so funny. Yeah, it's like, but all night he was just mouthing off and he was just being an absolute
such
dick.
a false sense of.
I didn't even know. Like I was like, it was just.
yeah.
Remember that it was I remember my first fight. It was just so funny.
That's mad that you had that you and your brother fought on the same.
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
That's
We did it a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you because obviously your brother what belt is he in jiu-jitsu?
Black belt.
Black belt. Yeah. And he's been trained in like what same things that you trained in. Like
Let's just say I started first.
Okay.
So if he ever listens to this.
Yeah.
He followed in my footsteps.
Nice.
But
Easy,
he got his black belt in taekwondo. I did Muay Thai, same as me.
Yeah.
Got black belt in jiu-jitsu now as
Before
well.
Steve got his black belt in jiu-jitsu before Steve, because Steve sandbag.
You're not going to get promoted to black belt. No.
Oh man, no.
What's it like? Because we had a question, another question about that actually, saying like how brothers like fight growing up. I don't really know how that's a
shit
question.
out of me.
Really, me and my
used to
brother, because I have a
beat the shit out
brother,
of me.
Shane.
We used to, so mum, the little hallways, little house, and then mum and dad would watch like Emmerdale Farm in the front, of Coronation Street and stuff, and then they got us some gloves, but one pair of gloves between two of us.
Yeah.
So we'd always we'd do rock paper scissors, see who get the right hand, who get the left hand, and then it was just basically him beating me up until he got fatigued, and then I would come back with a few swings. And then he would start beating me up again. Like when he went in, but then I really got into Monkey Magic was the program. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that. If you watch it now, it's terrible. It doesn't hold up. But I watched that and Jackie Chan, and I wanted to do martial arts. So I started doing taekwondo when I was like 8, and then after I started then beating up on him a little bit, he started doing it as well. And then he sort of followed that way. But yeah, he just for quite a while he would just beat me up. And
That's
then,
mad, yeah. Because I did, my parents chucked my brother Shane and I into Taekwondo when we were around that age. I reckon maybe 6 and 7, I think.
Yeah.
And we were doing that for ages. And I remember it's pretty wicked. Thinking back to it, we were doing the sparring tournaments and stuff. And we did one up in Dublin, and we ended up fighting each other in the same division. But no one knew that we were brothers. Got the headgear on and everything the whole time we were there with all the kit on. And we had this fight anyway, and we fought in the final. And then they didn't know who to give the winner, so they ended up calling it a draw, right? Yeah. But then they also had the day's best fight medal, which goes between adults and kids as well and stuff like that. And they ended up coming up to they found one of our coaches, which was both of our coaches at the time. They're man, so this fighter, we're kind of teeing up, want to give the day's best fight medal, but we don't know who to give it to. Yeah. And the coach was those two. It's yeah, no, they're actually brothers. Hey. Yeah. So we ended up winning the day's best fight medal at this tournament. And from there, we both we kept training for ages and stuff. As time went on, I kind of went the MMA route. My brother Shane's done boxing, but man, when you're chatting about fighting at home, absolutely relentless. Hey, I was gonna say, I think some of my biggest fights have probably been at home with him. Yeah. But do you reckon it makes you a bit more resilient?
I think if you're the younger brother,
yeah, if you're the younger brother,
he used to beat the crap out of me.
Yeah,
but
ours were pretty even, I reckon.
Yeah, well, I think my dad
you're the younger brother.
Yeah. My dad was he's
What are you?
I'm the younger brother.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that he used to beat the crap out of me. I feel we were pretty even.
Nah, he did until I got bigger. Then things changed.
Yeah.
But he what was I gonna say? Yeah, he used to beat the crap out of me every day. But then obviously started doing martial arts and stuff like that. And then I think it was a lot more after a few years of that. We didn't do that as much, but when we didn't know what we were doing, we just used to absolutely just slug each other all the time.
Ours would start off with either just mess wrestling, because obviously very boisterous household, so it would just start off with play fighting, but wrestling and grappling. But then I reckon every single time there would just be one dirty shot thrown, and then that would just blow up. And then I remember, man, my dad would be it got to the stage, my dad would obviously shout at us and stuff and be "Oh, stop," but got to the point where my dad was I'm sick of you like chapping, yerping all at each other. Like he's like, if you're actually gonna do it, chuck on some gloves, like go outside, settle it, and then come back inside. But no, I reckon
you used to have a pair of gloves each.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say.
I was like, don't want to get the left. Please let me get the right.
The first time, I was actually gonna say like I've never knocked anyone out like properly, like in terms of like MMA or anything like that. I've gotten TKOs, but like the only knockout I've ever had in my life was actually my brother. So I was like really overweight when I was younger. I was like I was at a stage where I'd stopped, like I didn't do Taekwondo. I stopped that, and I was in school, didn't do anything for like a couple of years before I actually started jiu-jitsu. But I was like really, really heavy, and he used to just slag me so much for being like chubby. And I remember I started like doing MMA, and I started losing all this weight, and I was getting really confident. I was really happy that I was losing this weight, and the only person I wanted to hear it from was like him, because he was like, do you know when you're going at each other, it's just like, oh, they know how to get under your skin. So I was waiting for like the day that he'd be like, oh man, like you actually lost some weight, right? Yeah. And then I remember this one day we were just having a bicker at each other, and he ended up calling me Conor McGregor. He was like, oh, you think you lost weight, Conor McGregor? You're still fat and all this kind of stuff. And I saw red, like I absolutely lost it. And I was standing against the door, and I was literally like biting my teeth and like shaking a little bit. And I remember he was saying, oh, are you scared because I'm like shaking? And I was like, no, I'm not scared. Like I was just like really like so much adrenaline, right? And then he like flinched at me. And I swear, well, in my side of the story, I didn't move, right? I didn't budge. I was just shaking. He like flinched, and I didn't move at all. And he was like, oh, you scared? And then I flinched back at him, and then he jolted a little bit. And then I was like, oh, but then after that, he just swung the biggest right hand ever. And then luckily enough, I like slipped it, and luckiest punch I've ever thrown in my life. Yeah. I've thrown a hook, and I've literally just swung. As I've thrown this hook, he's like pulled his head back in the opposite direction and like hit his chin. And then I saw him go out onto the floor, and then things kind of transpired from there. But that was the only time I've ever knocked anyone clean out. But when this just goes to show my household. When he like came, I was like really worried, right? I was like, oh my gosh, like, I've just knocked him out. I've never done anything like that. When he like woke up, the first thing he did, he had blood all over his face. He got up. He ran at me. He shouted out, do you know Joker from Batman? Why so serious? Shouted that at me, and he laughed in my face, like right in front of me, right after I knocked him out. And I ran up the driveway like as fast as I could. Hey, so that's like that's my little story for like brothers fighting growing up. But I feel that's made me the MMA fighter I am today. Do you have a brother? No.
I'm so soft. Like the only reason I'm in the place I did Taekwondo, got my black belt, and then had like a 10-year break. And the only reason I am where I am now is because I went to do CrossFit, because I was doing indoor beach volleyball. I was doing indoor beach volleyball around the corner from the gym, like still there, you know, we're on Winton Road. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to do CrossFit, like something different. And so the gym used to be next to CrossFit gym, but you have to have like an induction or whatever, and you have to have like a meeting, and then the guy never rocked up to meet me for my induction for CrossFit. And
that's when you had the dreadies.
So Steve's like gym was next door, and I had full dreadlocks like down here. I had like short like tie-dye shorts on, and I was like, the guy didn't rock up, so I was like, oh, I'll just go in here like and have a look. And I go in there, and Michael Morecambe's sitting behind the desk, who's like he was pro MMA fighter at the time. He was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, pro MMA fighter. I think he was high. I think he had judo belts as well. But I basically walked in. He literally just like looked at me from behind the desk and just laughed, like just laughed in my face, because like. And then he was like, what do you want? And I was like, oh, I don't know, just like, you know, see what's going on. And then he's like, oh yeah, there's like a class now if you want to like jump on. And then, so I just like went in, I think it was no-gi, and then did no-gi. And then now it's been like 14 years, and I'm like, that's the only reason, like, I've like
chances of that.
I like hate fighting, hate like hurting people, hate getting hurt, hate blood, hate injuries, hate everything. Like so, but yeah,
good on you for doing
like,
it.
So weird. Yeah.
I just like to say our customer service has got a lot better since.
It's so funny. He like tore like my intercostals like muscles like 3 times from like doing knee on belly and stuff like. But he was a madman though. He used to go to like. jiu-jitsu competitions and then just like throw up in between matches because he's just like hungover, tired. Like
He'd always have one good round in him.
yeah.
In that round, you're like, I got to survive this round, and then like you gas out.
He was good though.
Yeah,
like,
very
no, he
good.
was he's a good dude. Like I
Yeah.
really like him. But yeah, that's how.
So when
That's how that started.
you're bringing me on to another question because you're saying
Well,
Wait,
I've
Toy-
got this other question first, quickly.
oh okay, go for it.
No, I really want this question.
Because I just put another question
We got a few. We need to fly through 'em. We got
from someone, Old Man Rivers. He's put, give it that sexy boxing coach a shout out. So here's to
Awesome.
Steve. I'll give him a shout out.
we all know the chat about Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. No.
No,
Who's
Sean.
Sean? Who's
Sean.
that? Oh.
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
Sean, boxing coach. Yeah,
Nice, good boxing coach.
Now, what was your question?
Good. My
He's a
question.
reluctant shout out, Sean Rivers.
Shout out to Sean Rivers, boxing
and-
coach.
Get the balls to come and step onto my mats, mate, and I'm gonna roll you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should get
He
Sean
was
on
doing
the
a bit of
podcast.
jiu-jitsu. Yeah, we should do. Yeah.
100%.
He's
Sean,
funny.
next time
That's
on the
for you,
podcast.
Sean.
Let's go.
He's funny.
You were chatting about you saying that like knee on belly. You tore your intercostal muscles.
Yeah.
So
I was the Uki 3 times. He did this to me.
Yeah.
As a Uki. Do you know what
Wait,
the Uki?
as in
Do you know
you-
what an Uki is?
rookie.
No, an Uki is the so when
Demo.
I'm like, all right, guys, we're gonna do knee on belly.
A demo
Steve
guy.
goes down. He's my demo.
Yeah.
That's an Uki.
Who is that like?
So you
Japanese
could have
Japanese.
just said demo guy, but
demo guy.
Demo guy
I think he was
or
trying to-
girl
Yeah.
yeah.
or whatever. You know,
So-
doesn't matter.
I'll ask you this then.
Kev doesn't agree with demo
You
guy.
ready for the question?
I don't care. It
Ready?
doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
could be a
right.
furry. It doesn't
You
matter.
need to pay attention.
I
You need to
support
pay
anyone.
attention. You need to pay attention. I'm gonna
Whatever
ask
they
it
want to
once.
be, whatever they want to do. I've said this multiple times. Okay.
I'm gonna ask you
I'm
the
just
question
here
once.
to promote all species and forms of human beings.
Go over the
Are
question.
you ready?
Go.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Go on.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a scenario here. All right. Okay. So, recently a friend of mine was told off for rolling hard.
Is this your friend? Oh,
He's
this is
quite.
the question.
Listen to the question. You need to pay attention.
Tell the question.
Okay. He's quite an explosive individual, right? He was essentially told to roll slower with less strength.
Who's the explosive one? The one who's writing this message or not?
No.
No, I have no
Oh,
idea.
okay,
Just a
yeah.
scenario. It's
Okay,
just a
yeah,
scenario.
yeah.
Is the-
From a
the
competitive,
person-
here's kind of the question, right? So, from a competitive fighter's perspective, is it against the fighter's best interest to expect all his training partners to roll the same in regards to style and intensity? And is there utility for yourself in having training partners who are naturally much more intense than others? Okay, it's a pretty big question.
Yeah.
So I think essentially in a gym, obviously like class setting, you've got like an expectation. We chatted about this about
Yeah,
gym etiquette,
yeah.
about like how you train and the intensity that you train. Should you kind of expect that intensity all the time from all the different individuals, regardless of like style and things like that?
I think it depends on what
They're training
that
for.
particular class is training for and
Yeah.
what the level's like,
Yeah.
and then what's expected. So like say like if we're going, everyone's just gonna roll.
Yeah.
We're not really like stipulating like, oh, you're gonna go light, or you're gonna work on this, or you're gonna work whatever, or you're gonna go hard.
Yeah.
Then that's where it's gonna get confusing, sort of thing. Because then if I'm like going with you and just chilling and having a nice roll,
And
and,
then-
James tries to rip my head off, then it's a different ball
Exactly,
game. It
yeah.
depends on the intensity and depends on the level of the person as well.
Yeah.
It's quite a big question, isn't it? Really, because
Yeah.
say
There's a lot
if I'm like not very good,
Yeah.
and James is there and I go out like really hard, but then he just beasts me.
Yeah.
Like that's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
But if you're at about the same level,
Yeah.
and you're both sort of in agreement, let's just have a good roll here, then I don't think it's really that bad. Like
Yeah.
explosiveness is where injuries occur, but if you don't ever experience that,
Yeah.
then when you come to competition, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, maybe somebody, you know, people who train, and we've had it in the gym before, where they're going to a competition,
Yeah.
and all their rolls or all their sparring or whatever has all been really chill. It's like a rude awakening. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like, but you can't do it all the time. I think it's like a
Yeah.
lower percentage.
Yeah.
More of the times you're working on reaction,
Yeah.
you're working on technique,
Yeah.
you're working on movement. Say if I'm like totally better than you, I'm going to take a lot of things away from me and work certain aspects, because then I'm going to get something out of it.
Yeah.
You'll get something out of it. Like we talked about previously. Yeah. But I think sometimes you gotta go for it. You know what I mean? But we're not trying to damage each other. Like same, like we're not trying to hurt each other.
As well, because that's from a like if I
competition
point of view. But if I'm a coach point of view now, I'm coaching a class, right? Let's say I'm just like teaching a jiu-jitsu class, and like I've just said, right, guys, we're rolling. And I can see guys are like doing like pretty all right, like pretty good flow rolls. Oh, that's a good technical match. That's nothing too crazy. And then I look over and they're like, this guy's going ridiculously. But
again, it goes on the experience.
Yeah.
Because like you're gonna get white belts. You're gonna go easy guys, and they're gonna go okay. Then it's like Godzilla, like rah, the craziness, and it's like, well, you don't know yet, so it's like calm down. Like just do this, calm down. It'll take them a while.
Yeah.
But say it was like 2 like blue belts, purple belts, or something like that. It was been doing it a while. Yeah. Then they should understand that the intensity goes in it. And again, I like watching a match that goes like quite good when they're a bit leveled up together, but like I don't really like someone just beating up on someone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree.
I think basically what you were like getting to there is I think if the coach is good enough, then and he's telling you or she is telling you to look, hey, I'm keeping with the inclusivity, okay? Yeah. If they're telling you to calm down and go like there's a reason behind it and they're right. I would always back the coach and say there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
If that person, right?
Yeah.
So I know the person that's sent that question in but they're talking about their friend. So I don't know what level their friend is. But if that friend is like a white belt, okay, I know for sure that I probably say stuff to guys that are like white belts, and they would take it as like whatever way that, it wasn't even going hard. You know, like that's the way they're going to look at it. Like, and then they're going to go to their mate that's a purple brown belt and go, man, the coach told me to like calm down and chill out, and I'm going too crazy. I was doing nothing. Like you
need to know more details on what it is. You know what I mean?
But I can see how that.
There's a time and a place for each kind of.
I can see how that could play out easily because I've been there. I was that person going too hard all the time. Like Ian used to tell me to calm down all the time, and I was like, get lost. Like I was like, I'm smashing these guys. Like, so
I think what you said about the coach. Like for example, like I've told like white belts to calm down. But I've also told like blue belts, purple belts to calm down as well. I think it's like, there's clearly a reason like why. Yeah.
Well, if you're watching that roll, right, and you see it and you tell someone to calm down, even if they're like evenly matched, okay, but on this day, in that minute, in that setting, in that time, this person here is just not doing it, not matching, and this person here is just like smashing them, and this guy's not feeling it. You can see that, and then you're just like, oh man, just like, chill back or whatever, because it's like,
but again, they've got to experience it as well. Like, so if those two are evenly matched, and then they're going, and then they've like both accepted to do that, but this person's not feeling it, then they're going to get the better of them on that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like I can always, I could do that all day long. I could just go in and go.
100%. If you're doing it,
I don't care how you feel.
But if you're doing it every single time, but I'm saying on a particular day, someone's always going to be that better mood or better whatever than the other person, and you need to. If you want to compete, you got to experience that.
So we have a competition class. So then I go when the guys, because I've got guys in the gym asking me, when can I go hard? And I'm like, look, you should with jiu-jitsu, you should pretty much basically never be going 100%, because 100% means you're going to like snap on an armbar. Like you want to be having the technical skill to be able to armbar that guy and he cannot get out, and he taps because he knows he can't get out. You go 80%, 90%, 95%. I was like, you can go 100%. But in comp class, I'm like, if you're showing up to comp class, well, then you've got to expect that there's going to be a guy in there willing to rip your head off in that time.
Yeah, but like, is it 100% on the roll, or is it 100% on the submission?
Yeah, okay. Well, I explained.
Because I could go with you and go like super hard. You go hard with me. But I come to like an arm bar, and I'm not going to try and break your arm. You know what I mean? Like,
when it comes to levels, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So like, it's like a white belt's not going to have that skill, maybe even a blue
exactly,
belt's not going to have that.
So I'm saying you need a bit more
that.
information, but I think there's a time and a place for everything. But once you've got experience, if you're just starting off, or you're like a low level blue belt or whatever, even not belts, just like time of training, then once you got an idea, of what you're doing, then maybe, okay, you guys are matched up good, let's go. Like, say if we, I was going with someone and we're about the same weight, about the same level, and we're going to go, let's roll. Let's roll. We decided both are going to roll, but I'm not going to try and damage you. I don't want you off work. You know what I mean? So
sometimes I'll say, like, I'll say to whoever I'm wrong with, I'm like, I want you to, like, beat me. Try and beat me, completely beat me. But that's like, or I think it's like Avatar, you know, when the dude like puts his thing in the horse and they like join there, like, and then it's like sometimes you can.
So you want to put what do you want to put in people?
Do you know what I mean? Like, once he gets the hair,
I know what you're on about.
Hair together in Avatar, and then now they're like joined. I think it's sometimes like that. It's like we can roll, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like we've like put our hair together, and I know. I'm like, oh, Steve,
I've never thought about jiu-jitsu like that.
It's definitely like this. And then it's like, I'm like, I can feel we're at like 60%. Okay, yeah, we're doing 60%. Oh, it's like, we're going up. Oh, we're going up. We're both, it's like this like weird connection. And you know, and like.
But sometimes I feel like I'm going 60 and you're going 100.
I think.
If I was going 100,
you
would know about it.
Do you remember a couple of podcasts ago?
Yeah.
We chatted about gym etiquette and fighter etiquette.
Yeah.
I think like in a nutshell, like all of that being said, levels, all of these different things coming into play, what you're training for, intensity, all of that. But I remember the very first thing that we chatted about when we were talking about like gym etiquette and fighter etiquette during like training and sparring and stuff was like taking care of your partner. That makes sense. So I think if that comes in first, obviously like doesn't matter like who you're rolling, like if you're rolling together, you can go hard because you still have that awareness of taking care of your partner, and that's just kind of
that's why I was saying about is 100% on the roll or 100% on the submission. Like you should never be going to like if I get like a bloody arm bar or heel hook, I'm not going to try and bash it on. You know what I mean? I'm going to get to a position we can have a hard roll like boom, 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 boom. Like we're going to get a little bit like there's a bigger chance of injury because that we're going that way. But you can get injured any doing anything. But there's a time and a place, and that shouldn't be the higher percentage of time you're rolling. Like more other stuff is more technical rolling, but there is a time for it. That's all I'm saying.
No, lovely. Not easy. I reckon we'll wrap that up and then come back for another section.
Cool. All right. Oh, we're gonna go on some really cool stuff then.
I'm like, watch him 2 seconds later, like, come back to.
I explained that in the beginner's course. I said, Avatar, way of the water. The guy tricks him out, but he lets him go and he comes back and.
Are we on? Are we on?
Hello and welcome back.
Still on about Avatar. What the fuck?
That's a good movie. That one.
We got a question.
So if it's
Have you seen Way of the Water?
I've seen
That's
it.
the second one.
Yeah. So you're saying that you got choked out underwater.
Oh yeah. So. Well, if we're recording, another story. So in beginner's course, I was explaining to everyone like, I'm not a doctor, okay, but if you cut off the carotid arteries, okay, both carotid arteries, it takes exactly 9 to 10 seconds to put someone to sleep. Okay, this is scientific.
I do it in 7.
No, you can't. It's 9 to 10 seconds. It's fact. Cut off both carotid arteries. And then, but I don't know how long you have to hold it for to kill someone. I think it's like 4 minutes, okay? So I was like,
so without oxygen to the brain, I think like
4 minutes. So normally what I do is I just count like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and get to like 3 minutes, 58 seconds and let it go. And then they're all right. That was a joke. I'm joking. I don't do that, okay? But
the fact that you have to tell us it's a joke.
I said, I was telling them the beginner's course, I said like in Avatar, Way of the Water, dude, Sam Worthington, he's like choking the bad guy out, right? And then he puts him to sleep, and then he lets him go. Okay,
it's just
and I'm like, well, of course he's gonna wake up because you've put him to sleep. but you didn't hold him for 4 minutes and kill him. So now he's going to wake up and he's going to come back and get you later. And then he does. He comes back and gets. Well,
have you thought about the fact that they want to have
but it
like
annoys
a
me.
third movie and that like how much money that would make?
Do you know what's annoying? You ever watch like the action movies where they'll choke someone out and they'll drop him. Yeah. And then they're like gone from that fight scene forever. Like they'll go on and touch someone else, I'm like, they're gonna be awake in like 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
And what I said is they're gonna wake up. They're gonna feel reinvigorated because they've had like a great little nap. They've just like they've just sailed through the universe in their mind, and now they're like awake, and they're gonna be like full of energy because now they've just had like.
Have you been choked out before?
A little. Yeah.
But how? We won't talk about that. But how refreshed were you?
I was not refreshed from that one. That one actually sucked. I was like, I don't know what happened, but I was like, did not feel good after that because I don't know if it's because he choked me out twice in one sitting, like because he didn't know.
Are we talking about the belt one?
Yeah, he didn't know I'd gone out, and so, well, he said, "Are you okay?" Obviously, I'd gone.
So this story, which I've seen on video, James is on top of a white belt, and was like. The belt had come off and he's messing around like pretending to choke him from the top and then somehow puts it around his shoulders.
I put my belt around my neck.
So then the lad on the bottom grabs it and then pulls it across and then he just falls asleep for a second.
Yeah, like, and then I woke up and then he goes, "Are you okay?" Because he didn't know. He had no idea. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like I didn't know I'd gone out and I was like, "I'm fine." So then he did it again and put me out. And then...
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he put me out a second time. And then Danny was there like yelling at him. I'm like, he's out. What are you doing? You can't use the belt. And then I woke up and I was looking and Danny was yelling and I couldn't hear anything. And then...
I thought you were deaf.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. And I go, "What are you looking at? What are you looking at?" But no words were coming out. And then I couldn't hear anything. And then I was like...
No, but isn't that similar to like an Avatar?
It's not because
Do we still have this footage?
I want to see it. I haven't seen this
know,
video.
I would love to. And then I was like, something's wrong, but no words were coming out because I didn't know I'd gone out. And then all of a sudden my heart starts going doosh, doosh, and that's all I could hear was my heart. And then slowly my hearing comes back and I just hear Danny going, you went out, and I was like, oh, but I did not feel good after that.
Yeah.
But like when Dan got choked out the other day and he woke up and he was like, I come over to him and he's like, "Why is everyone in my bedroom?" He's like looked around and there's like all people there and he's like, "Why is there?" And then he was like, "I feel really good actually," but I didn't feel good for mine. I don't know if it's because I went out.
Sometimes when you come back around, you're like, "Oh shit, what just happened?"
I felt I've only gone out once and it was like by accident in drilling. Yeah. So it was in one of your classes and you were teaching, I remember it was like a head and arm choke, but then if you couldn't get the head and arm or you weren't able to finish them, then you transition and then basically move on, go to the next submission. And I was with Tyron back in the day and I remember he was putting on the head and arm choke and for some reason I just like, just stupid, like blanked out, dazed out, like I forgot that like I have to tap to the first one. And then, like, he'll transition to the second one. Yeah. So, in my head, I was just going off Steve saying, if you can't finish it. So, like, he's putting it on. And I remember being there and I was like, man, this is getting, like, real tight. But I'm letting him work, letting him cinch it up, letting him, like, make it really, really good, you know, do all those little things. And then, all of a sudden, like, I just opened my eyes. And again, I could just see his face above me. And it was, like, shaking me and stuff like that. But I felt class when I woke up. Like, I was, like, seeing stars and stuff and everything. And, like, hearing was gone as well. But when I came to it, I just felt, like, so good. Like, I felt really, really good. And he was like, what happened? Like, why didn't you tap? And I was, like, couldn't understand why I went out. Yeah. And then afterwards, I realized, I was like, I thought you were going to like change to the next submission. He's like, no, but you didn't tap. Like I was waiting for it to be on for you to tap. I don't know why I didn't tap.
Sometimes you forget you have like short-term memory loss.
Yeah,
so you go out, if you get knocked out or choked out, you wake up and you're like, what the hell just happened?
I've
done it a couple of times just demoing on people. And then they haven't tapped. And then I didn't know it was on. But you know, you're talking and you're demoing and then next minute like, I'm like, I'll stop messing around and they go, they snort and like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's probably the most like I was demoing on Charles and the problem is because like I'm talking And I'm like, oh guys, yeah, like do this, do that.
Like a
And
slow burn.
the choke's on like a little bit or whatever, and then he's trying to wait for you to get through your spiel and get the whole way to the end.
And if anyone knows, James can
That
talk.
could be a long time with me. That could be a long time. And then I was like, I said something, and then I was like, hey, Charles. And he's like, no answer. And I'm like, Charles, hey, Charles. And he's like, no answer. And then I'm like, what's he doing? And I look, and then he's like, and I was like, oh, I might jump up, grab his legs, hold him up.
This is not a good promotion.
I
for
was
the
gonna
gym.
say no.
He was-
no.
I think that was like 3 minutes 58, wasn't it?
Oh,
I
stop.
counted Mississippi's one, Mississippi two, but that
Man.
was like and then afterwards, he was fine, like, but he was like, oh yeah, I was just like, he was like, it was on, it was like coming on, but that's most of the time. It's like
You think it's all right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you're getting demoed on, and you think you're okay, and then next minute you're like, yeah, you're like out sort of thing, because it's just that like slight
You go
little
to that
bit for such a.
place, yeah.
We've got that one more question, huh?
Ice baths.
Ice bath. I think
We
it was
did
the
just
last
did
one.
ice bath.
No, we haven't because it cut off, didn't it?
Oh.
I don't think we got any more.
Do you like ice baths,
Yeah.
James?
So what temperature is your ice bath, Kev?
I did one this morning. It was 0.5 degrees. But what I don't understand, actually, this might be. It was
It's too
oh,
cold.
straight up.
Cold.
It was very cold. But I think I don't know if my temperature thing is wrong because well, obviously 0.5, right? That's still
You're
above.
breaking the ice to get into it.
No, there was ice in it,
Yeah.
but does ice not form at 0 degrees?
I don't know.
Below 0.
Yeah.
So how is there ice in it if it's 0.5 degrees?
Well, some of it would be 0 degrees.
How? Oh, just as in different parts of the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just a bit confused because I was like, oh, 0.5. Like
How long did you do?
this morning, 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes, yeah. It was cold.
But there's a certain, I'm sure you've done your research, but there's a certain temperature that's got to be below to get the actual benefit.
10.
It's 10, yeah.
What did you say yours
Yeah,
was?
Steve's in
13.
Steve Maz will be in the
Why is
Caribbean.
why is waist cut off?
up to my waist?
I swear they say
It can't be.
between 8 and 15.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
So
okay,
I
not
was
bad,
saying
not
before
bad.
off air. Well, it wasn't recording.
Yeah.
We went to Waste and I went in the ice bath. I've done ice baths before anyway, like in the bath with ice. But they did a proper ice
What was
bath
in
at
the
Waste. Huh?
What was in the bath?
With ice.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was just clarifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't get all the way in. I got into my waist, and then Robin got under it all the way, and she's like under to her neck. But it was just like
Yeah.
2 minutes, wasn't it? 2 minutes,
job.
and then 2 minutes in the hot, and 2 minutes. Yeah.
Did you go, when you say the hot, did you go into a sauna or?
It was
or
best jacuzzi ever. Yeah.
a jacuzzi?
Yeah, yeah.
How good. I
So
was
good. But
gonna
the
say,
jets were like just smashing me. It was good.
Yeah.
In,
I just waited in there while I went
Yeah.
and did the rest.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Did you just do it once?
No, I did it a couple of times. We've done it
So you went
a
to
few
the
times.
ice.
Yeah.
No, but when you did it, did you go ice bath, jacuzzi, ice
Yeah,
bath?
a couple back and forth. But I've done ice baths with under all the way, but like
Mm.
just with ice in the bath. Don't know what temperature it was.
Yeah.
So I've got the ones at the gym now. So
Yeah, we've
I'll
done
d-
them
I'll
after
do
some
it,
of the
yeah.
spy sessions, yeah. What do you think?
Do you remember that first one you did?
Yeah, that was stupid. Hey, because I did it twice that day.
Yeah.
I did. I went in and I remember. I think it was Frank or someone said someone was like, "Oh, who can stay in the longest?" And then we all just tried to stay in for as long as we could. So I ended up doing I think it was 6 or 7 minutes because then the boys all jumped out and then I got out after them. Yeah. But then some of the other lads came and hopped in. I think it was Ashby and just some other guys, and they were hopping in again. And then they were like, "Oh, Kev, why aren't you jumping in?" And I was like, "I've already been in." And they're like, "Oh, no, you haven't. Stop lying," and all this stuff. And I was like, I literally...
Peer pressure.
So I went, full on peer pressure, ego, pride took over, hopped in a second time. And I did a couple minutes and I got out. And I remember I felt pretty all right. I think it's just because I went
shivering.
numb. Yeah.
Wow.
But then, when the shivering set in, I was so bad. And it was a hot day. It was
Yeah.
it was 40-degree day. And I was shivering. My teeth were clattering. I was running. I remember I was trying to warm up. Do you remember I was running around the mats and everything? And then I ended up sitting in my car. 40-degree day, put the heater on full whack, had my hoodie on, and I was just sat there, and I was felt like I couldn't drive home. It was that bad. So that was the worst one I've done, and that was just so stupid. That was just, I couldn't get warm for hours after that. But now I just do what I think 3-4 minutes or something, and what I have at home, just a little chest freezer.
I think it's about 2 or 3 minutes is good.
Yeah.
I want to.
Jimmy over here says the ideal temperature is 10 to 15 degrees. Otherwise, the risks below that outweigh the recovery.
Who said this?
That's what Google says.
Oh, Google.
Yeah, 10 to 15 degrees.
Were we going to be able to hear what you're saying?
Hopefully.
So
Oh,
what's that again?
She
What?
said Jamie over here. The whole time I'm going. I'm like,
Oh.
who the
I always
hell
wonder who
is
Jamie. I thought someone
was
sent another
so
question.
confused. And then you're like, who
Yeah.
says that? And
Yeah,
she's
Robin
like,
said that,
Google.
oh.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
she just said Jamie though. Like, I'm thinking Jamie's sending you.
Yeah,
the
so
answer.
Robin just Googled, said it was like, if you can't hear, I'm not sure, it hasn't got a microphone, but 10 to 15 is where it's going to be beneficial. But anything
Yeah.
underneath is not going to be
what
beneficial.
risks?
But it's
are
but it's like
Yeah.
but it's like
Yeah.
when you're doing the
Yeah.
weight cut, anything over like 40
degrees.
is not going to be beneficial. It's not going to make
Stupid,
you
yeah.
sweat anymore. So I think it might be the same sort of thing. Like, but with more.
Interesting. Interesting. What about? Oh, see, this is the thing though. Like,
Don't
I've
ask me.
done
I
it.
don't know. Like,
I've done it. Dog wants to be.
dogs
want
want to be in the room here now.
I've
Yeah.
done I've done them when I first started. It was like 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Then it was 8, then 6, and then
Yeah.
just like gradually got colder and colder, and then like it's been on like 1 degree, but like mentally, after doing the colder ones,
Yeah.
has been pretty like significant in terms of how I feel. Like I've literally felt like high after
Yeah.
I've done those ones. Like I've been
Probably
like
'cause you're about
huge.
to die or something.
You reckon? But like
That's what I
huge.
was- that's what I was talking about. Trying to plan for fights. You
Yeah.
might have some. Kev freezes solid in his ice bath and doesn't make it to his boxing fight.
Legit. No, but like you hop in, do 2-3 minutes, and then like hop out. Obviously, start shivering and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like huge dopamine rush. Like obviously awake. Like
Joe Rogan over here.
no, I'm being serious.
I got the ultimate.
Yeah, legit. But no, it's really good, especially like for the morning classes. Like if I've been having like a really big training week, and then like I wake up, even if I'm teaching just like a 9 o'clock class, I wake up at 7 o'clock and everything, have my breakfast and all that, and I'm just like really groggy, and I'm like, oh, I'm struggling to get up, and I know I'm gonna kind of have a slow kind of start to the day. I don't want to hop in, like I really don't want to hop in. But in my head, if I can like put myself in a really uncomfortable environment like that, like really stress inducing, and then I just like, my day can't get any worse than that. Like, you know what I mean? So like go hop in and like get in straight away, dunk in, head in, and then I just do like 3 minutes. Within the first 10 seconds, I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like trying to control my breath and everything, and then hop out, and then I feel really, really good.
Yeah.
Once I warm
think you
up,
do
come
good
in,
when you
teach
come
class,
out, yeah.
feel really, really good. But
Kev's like a vegan that's just like started.
Don't you
vegan.
ever,
He's definitely.
ever,
this is like a
ever
vegetarian
call
telling
me
you
a
like
vegan.
how good spinach is.
ever,
Like,
don't you ever call
It's
me
like,
a
oh
vegan.
my
That's the
god,
biggest thing.
guys!
No.
If you just knew
No.
how good an ice bath was.
See what James does to get stress induced, and he just
Yeah.
rolls with me.
Yeah.
Then
Do
I have to
you,
go and have an ice bath.
I was gonna say, do you eat meat?
Yeah.
How do you like eat your steak? How do you like cooked?
The teeth.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
How do you cook steak?
Medium rare.
Medium rare. Not bad. Like more of a rare man myself.
I had a
like,
little
do you know what I
little
mean?
fact he was gonna give then.
Me, I'm not
You
gonna
had a
give
little
it
fact you
I'm
can give.
not gonna give it a little
There's
fact.
a glint in his
I
eye.
said, what? Name 3 cuts of like steak meat.
But anyway, ignoring that question.
What?
I do
No, I'll go
in
for it. No,
winter-
Mrs. Vegan,
In winter,
go.
I'm gonna go back to your ice bath. In winter, I go home and jump in my pool, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's in that right. I
Oh, you've
think
got
it's
a
that
pool?
temperature. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Richest jiu-jitsu coach
That's
in
cool. Do you
Perth.
do lengths and stuff?
No, it's not that long. But
Yeah.
in winter, I'll go home and I'll use that as my ice bath.
Yeah.
I don't have my own chest
Yeah.
freezer.
What about
ice bath.
saunas? Do you like saunas?
Yeah, I like saunas.
I like saunas. Do you prefer infrared or do you prefer traditional?
I prefer traditional.
Me too.
I like that burn in your lungs. No, I'm serious. Like where you're like trying to breathe and you're like, it's hot in your lungs.
Yeah.
You don't get that in the
The infrared one we got at the gym, like I like that one, and I've got used to it better
it's
now.
easier. That's why you
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
Just
because
like you
infrared's
like
better
your
for your
25
injuries,
degree
apparently.
ice
Apparently
bath.
it's better for I was gonna say apparently infrared's meant to be like
better for injuries. That's what I wanted it for. Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
The infrared, I do notice that if you've been like training or working out or like going
Sweat
there,
faster.
you've already like hot
Never
and you've
use
gotta
my infrared
sweat,
again.
and then you go in there, then you definitely like still pumping like the
Yeah.
sweat and you keeps your heart rate elevated. But
Yeah. Contrast therapy.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
You think you're- no, I was like, because we chat about ice baths, then we chat about saunas.
Ice to sauna. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
cold shock proteins and heat shock proteins.
Yeah, chat about them,
Yeah.
James. Go.
You release them when
Yeah.
you go into these different
Yeah.
elements.
Yeah.
It's good for your body.
Yeah. Apparently
But
actually.
it's the same thing you seen in Avatar, didn't you?
Yeah. In those
I
chambers.
wish I was an avatar.
Yeah.
Some people say I look like Sam Worthington.
Did it?
Yeah.
Who says that?
Someone said it.
It was someone.
Yeah.
What do you
Someone, and I've never forgot it.
What do you reckon? Like, so we're chatting about like ice bath, saunas. Like in terms of recovery. Like, so what's your go-to for recovery then?
I think active recovery is good. I like going in the ocean and swimming. Like
Yeah.
a bit of an active recovery, moving around. Like it's obviously not that cold, but like it's
Yeah, but
colder, and then moving your body and stuff like in the water. I think it's less resistance. I like that sort of stuff. But I'm not training anywhere the intensity of you guys. You know what I mean? So
I think sleep's a big one.
Yeah,
How actually, do you know like how many hours a night you sleep?
8.2. No, I have no idea. No,
Not bad.
maybe like 7 or something like that.
That's
Maybe.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Usually.
Genie Mac, I don't get that. Hey.
Nah.
What do you get?
Teaching all the 6 a.m. classes, Steve.
Yeah, but you got up at a decent hour.
Me?
Yeah.
How am I meant to go to bed at a decent hour?
What do you mean?
Okay, you work this out with me, right? I'm a professional athlete, right?
What do you mean? All the 6 a.m. classes?
No, just
I'm teaching the 3.
He teaches like half a 6 a.m. class.
What do you mean?
Do you know, like, for example, like Monday night, teach like 7:30 to 8:30.
Yeah, this is what I used to do every
Class
time.
finishes.
When I didn't.
He used to have to walk through the snow to get to the gym.
Exactly.
Uphill
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
ways as well.
Yeah.
Kev,
Exactly.
So like I live.
I didn't even have any of the coaches.
Like-
I did it all myself.
Yeah, actually, that's to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd manage that. Hey, were you competing at the same time?
There was one class a day.
Were you competing at the same time?
Teach one class.
Were you competing at the same time? Huh?
But it went for 8 hours.
Yeah. The for like so if you finish like class finishes at 8:30
Yeah.
and then like
Go home.
No,
straight
you
into
don't, no, you
bed.
don't leave at 8:30. Like people are like, oh, like can I shower? Like can I go
Oh,
to
he
my
doesn't.
bag?
He
Like,
leaves at
all
10.
this kind of stuff. Yeah. So like.
I think after I finish talking,
Yeah.
it's 10 p.m. when
That's,
I leave.
nah, see, I wouldn't stay and chat. I try to like really hush people out the door. But everyone wants to chat, and I'm like, I've been here. Like, I got up at 5 a.m. and I was here at 6 a.m. this morning. Like, and it's like classes finish. It's 8:30. Like, bye. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like out the door. But I'll probably get out the door maybe like. If I'm doing well, maybe like 22, 8:45,
Yeah.
I reckon. And then it's like a 15-minute drive home,
Yeah.
right?
So you're back home at 9.
Yeah, but I'm
bed
all,
by
no,
9:50.
I'm all sweaty. I've got all my muggy
I-
coaching
I'm
stuff
with
on,
you, Kev,
and
I'm
I've
with
trained.
you.
So then I'm like, right, I obviously need to like go and get clean. But then
Yeah.
recovery, right?
Yeah.
I've trained multiple times that day. I've done
Yeah.
pads with you.
Yeah.
So am I just gonna go shower? Or am I gonna prioritize recovery? So I'm like, no, like I'm gonna have a hot
Sleep.
bath or something. No, but I'm like, a hot bath. We were
Yeah.
just chatting about the heat
I
shock
always get a
proteins.
bath as well.
Heat shock, yeah,
Hot
you
bath,
have a
so-
bath, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So I come home and like have a bath and everything, but I still need to eat as well.
Yeah, we don't need to have all the candles and everything else on like you normally
That
do.
takes 2 seconds.
really
2 seconds. It says you. You had glitter on your skin because you put in a bath bomb in a
Yeah,
bath.
it was nice.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice with candles, right? He gave me a glitter on his arm. I was like, "What's up?" Oh look, right? But then you make
It's
so you make
relaxing.
you make dinner and everything. I'll have to have dinner like by the time I
Yeah.
get home. So I have dinner, like have my bath and all that, like. And then, man, like close to like 10, like by the time I'm like even like getting towards bed, and then yeah, I've got to be up at like 5.
You- Yeah, so you bed by 10:30.
Yeah, but and if I don't fall asleep straight away as well.
You
So
said
how many
you
hours
said
is
you
that?
fall straight away asleep. You said this
Me?
before.
When
you
did I
said
say
before.
I struggle.
You
with
say
sleep.
your little nap and you have 10 minutes to get to sleep.
In the
so you
middle
just
of the
lied
day,
in the
In the
podcast.
middle of the day.
Well, I'm in exactly the same boat as you, Kev,
Yeah.
right? So I do. I'm in
Oh, here we
there
go.
4 days a week.
Here we
at
go.
6 a.m., and
Yeah.
4 days a week I'm doing 7:30 to 8:30 class.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you-
And then
that's-
in the
that's
middle of the
risky.
day, instead of napping, what I like to do for active recovery is go and lay bricks. So I just do that just for my recovery.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Let's just go and like dig some sand or
Yeah.
push some wheelbarrows or
Yeah.
lay some bricks, and then I'll go and teach until 8:30
And then
at
after
night,
that, yeah.
and then I'll get up at 5 the next
Yeah.
day and teach at 6, and then I'll go and lay some more bricks.
Yeah.
But what do we always say? Living the dream.
Living the dream, 100%. Get a move on, old man. Back to for meals and stuff. Do you cook?
No, massively. Sam cooks mostly.
That's cool. Do you
Yeah.
cook?
I'm terrible. I could actually. There's a few things I can make. peanut butter on toast, mate. You'll never get
easy.
it better.
You I was gonna say.
You'll
Okay.
never get a better peanut butter.
What
on
kind of
toast.
peanut butter did you get?
Just like straight, like natural.
Okay.
No sugar, nothing. Just straight. It's just peanut.
Not bad.
It's just ground. I don't
Just-
know how they do it.
So how do you do it?
Ground
Like,
peanuts.
I just get the toast and I just like a good amount of butter and a good amount of peanut butter, just
Yeah.
like thick.
Oh, do you go butter and peanut butter?
Oh, you gotta get butter and peanut butter.
No, I
so I
don't.
can do
Hey, I
good
just-
peanut butter.
yeah.
I can make 2-minute noodles
Yeah.
and nachos.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
That's
Not
that's
bad.
what I can do,
Yeah.
right?
Not bad.
They're good.
Not bad.
Oh, and I've upped my game. Toasted sandwiches now as well.
Yeah. What about steak? Cook steak?
I can cook a steak.
Yeah, good job.
I
Yeah.
can cook a steak. You shut your mouth.
Why are you laughing?
You shut your
Can you
mouth.
not cook a
Dad's
steak?
got like 3 meals.
I got it. I can't cook.
Oh yeah.
She hasn't got a microphone.
Bangers and mash. Oh, I haven't had
I
a good
can't-
bangers
I
and
can
mash
cook
in
a
a long
steak.
time.
I
Yeah.
can cook a steak. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, how? Tell me how you cook steak.
But why are you asking me all these questions?
Because I'm hungry. That's why. That's good.
What are you getting to? What are you getting to?
No,
Go
I'm
on.
not getting it. No,
You
I'm
getting
just in
to
a calorie
something, go on.
deficit, so I'm loving having food chats at the minute. So
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite food?
me?
Mm.
Oh, I've got multiple, but like, ooh, it depends. Nah, too many cuisines. I
If you had to pick one, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. You have to eat one before you die.
my last meal.
Pizza.
I was gonna say that.
You got
could
pizza?
definitely
What
be
kind
up
of
there.
pizza?
I was just gonna go Italian.
kind of
'cause I
pizza?
was gonna say like
Just the
a
works,
pizza pasta. Pizza
Everything.
pasta, like a lot. I really like pizza.
Pizza with pasta on.
Well, as in like if I'm like gonna really no, not on it. Like if I'm gonna indulge, I love my meat. I love like steak, like South African food, like boerewors, things like that. I really like Mexican. I like smash Mexican, like tacos, like burritos, anything like that.
That's
like
cultural appropriation.
what?
How many whiskeys have you had?
Oh my gosh, this guy tonight. I swear down, you've like kicked up the later the podcast.
You
has
started
gone.
off.
You're
We just
like
took
half
it.
dead
You
at
took
the
it out the
start.
coffin, and then you started to warm up, and then you're like,
Man,
"What are
man.
you on?"
There's 1 minute.
Hectic. What's your favorite food?
I said pizza.
Oh, pizza.
Pizza
sure.
was
And
the
chocolate.
worst.
Do you
No,
pineapple
not
on
just
pizza?
chocolate. Easter eggs. They taste different.
Easter because they got way more sugar. Chocolate over here is
Do they
rubbish
really?
compared to
Do they
chocolate back home in England and Ireland. Don't you? Do you agree?
It's better in England. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I can't speak for England, but I was just saying I gather it's the same as Irish chocolate, but it's way better back home than over here. But
Easter eggs. They're the best.
it's because they have way more sugar in them.
How do you know that?
Read the macros. Have you never read? You know, do you know
They
the
just-
little
they-
white
they-
label
they
on the back of
taste
food?
better. They-
It's because
they
they have
definitely
like
better.
3 times the amount of sugar in them as normal
Oh,
chocolate.
which one the British ones do?
No, just Easter eggs.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay, yeah.
at any stage of year, if you get an Easter egg,
Yeah.
like that chocolate, like
Yeah.
if you read how much sugar's in it compared to like just normal chocolate, it's,
Right.
it's absolutely nuts. They do taste good, don't they? 100%.
Easter eggs.
Little I'll do you an Easter egg hunt. Easter's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey?
We'll do an Easter egg hunt in the gym or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
because
should do. And we got the we'll do the next one. We'll do Cage Confessions After Dark, and we'll all be able to drink then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have a good one.
Nice.
That's the podcast I need to be on.
Oh yeah, you won't make it through. Anyway, so that rounds up another exciting podcast that we had.
Yeah, lots of different topics.
Got a heap of fights coming up. So Robin's going away, so we won't be able to do any more because we can't do it ourselves. And then when she's back, then I'll show her how to get 2 from this podcast, and then we'll be able to do a new one after the fights.
Awesome.
So we'll see you then.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See you. Bye.